Scooby-Doo Unmasked starts with yet another recreation of the Scooby-Doo cartoon show opening, and it's probably the best one yet. It's certainly the best looking. Scooby-Doo Unmasked happens to have the best graphics of any of the games so far. They are cel-shaded and wait a minute, was that a caveman in a spaceship? What? The game starts out with the gang driving to a company called Mysterious Fright and Magic to meet Fred's cousin Jed. Fred's cousin Jed happens to make monsters for horror movies. When the gang arrives, the place is trash, so being the meddling kids they are, they set out to search the place for clues. It's here that you learn some of the more rudimentary aspects of the game, like jumping, double jumping, pushing buttons, sliding down pipes or wires, fighting, sliding down things, collecting clues, and doing what others tell you to do. You also learn about Shaggy and his food cart. You can collect food in the game and take it to Shaggy. He'll mix it up, and when he's done, you'll get a health upgrade. Combat is simple fare. Scooby spins around to attack enemies. He's got a jump and double jump for platforming. It's the stuff you've seen before, and it's done competently here. Scoob and the gang gets attacked by some monsters, but they are saved by none other than Batman himself, Adam West. Adam also has some chick with him named Marcy. They believe that Jed Jones, Fred's cousin, is the one responsible for the ransacked building and the missing Mibber, or Mubber. Oh my god, I have dyslexia. And what is Mubber, you ask?
A remarkable soy-based formula that can take any shape, and it only breaks down under UV light.
With Mubber, Mr. Stanton has perfected the most lifelike special effects monsters ever.
Turns out Adam West believes that Jed Jones, Fred's cousin, is responsible for the nefarious going-ons at the factory.
That thief? Look around. He caused all this so he could steal my creations.
How can you be sure it's Jed?
He's missing. And so's my Mubber, UV lamps, some animatronics. That's all the proof I need.
Okay, Scooby-Doo Unmasked is split up into 3 levels: Chinatown, Theme Park, Museum, and the whole thing is bookended by the Mysterious Fright and Magic stages. Each level is comprised of a hub world and 3 stages you can access from it, and at the end of each stage, area, world, you fight a boss. The first level, Chinatown, sees the gang arrive, and they are told that they shouldn't be there by some chick who's running the New Year's Eve parade. She also tells them that the dragon is angry. There's a giant roar, and then she disappears. Then Scoob has free range over the level. Here you can collect clues and Scooby snacks. If you get a clue, you can take it to Velma and she'll explain it and examine it and tell you more about it. Scooby snacks are essentially your health. Get 100 of them and you'll get a hit of health back. You can also talk to NPCs in the game and get information about what's going on in that particular area. It's a common idea you've probably seen in other games. The platforming in the game is fairly good. Each stage does have that not of this world design. It's like in Night of 100 Frights. It's not about creating a realistic world, it's about creating a world you can jump around in. However, some of the levels in this game have a more real world quality to them than, say, Night of 100 Frights. But not by a large degree. It's good though. The 3 stages you play in Chinatown are the Cookie Factory, the sewers, and the temple. The platforming is precise and the levels are well designed. I never felt lost and I was challenged. Each time you kill an enemy, you get to collect some Mubber because all the enemies in the game are made of it. When you get Mubber, you can use it at specialized machines around the stage to get items like food ingredients or power-ups. Speaking of power-ups, throughout the course of the game, you'll trade large quantities of Mubber for some type of power-up, like Scooby's Batman suit or his Kung Fu suit that allows him to shoot Hadoukens. Each suit gives Scooby a new ability to help him get through the stage. And boy, are some of these stages huge. The sewers stage in the Chinatown level is the longest one in this section. There's even a giant water slide type minigame in it. In the sewers, you have to rescue Shaggy, and after that, Daphne disappears and Scooby has to enter the temple and beat up a bunch of ninjas to save her.
Be careful, Scooby! I wonder if I could get a suit like that.
In each stage, you can collect clues, trap pieces, and ingredients for Shaggy's food cart. The clues will sometimes open up new paths in the hub world that give you access to new levels or areas. Once you have enough clues, you'll have to answer questions by picking the correct clue you've collected to answer it. Once you've answered the questions correctly, then the final boss fight is accessible. For Chinatown, you fight a giant dragon and have to hit him with Hadoukens. Once he's down, you unmask the bad ghost monster, Zen Tao, and it's that chick from the beginning of the level, but it turns out that she's made entirely of mubber. The next level is Rock and Roller Coaster Terror. The gang follows some radio transmissions to a rock and roll theme park ran by a famous musician named the Guitar Ghoul, and according to the guy you meet at the start of the level, the ghoul has chased everyone away.
Who are you?
Alvin Wiener, the Guitar Ghoul's biggest fan. Tonight, he's on a rampage.
There are 3 stages here. The haunted house, where you jump around broken roller coasters and swing from chandeliers. Once this level is over, the plot thickens.
First, rides started going crazy. Then animatronics began chasing people around. Here's the strange thing. The signal controlling the robots seemed to be coming from Ghoul Mountain in the water park.
The water park level is exactly that, a water park level. But unlike the usual water levels in games, this level is actually kind of fun. Shaggy and Scoob get split up and Scooby has to traverse a bunch of water slides to find him. The whole thing ends with one giant water slide that reminds me a great deal of those slides in Super Mario 64. It's fun. After the water slide, the gang meets the Guitar Ghoul's girlfriend, Nikki Starlight, who doesn't believe the Guitar Ghoul is responsible for the shenanigans happening in the park. And then Daphne gets kidnapped again.
Help!
That sounds like Daphne.
The circus area is this impossibly huge area. When you get there, you find Daphne.
Zoinks! Look, Scooby! Daphne's in a cage!
Just like I like all my redheads. It's in this stage that you get to fight the evil clowns, which are my favorite enemies in the game. I like them because they make a funny noise when you hit them and they fly back, but you can instantly run up and start pummeling them again. It's fun. Also, many of the enemies in the game are monsters from the show. Many of them are also original enemies. Unfortunately, the original enemies are really generic and themed after the level you're in. So in Chinatown, you fight like ninja enemies, and at the rock and roll level, you fight giant like spiders and evil rock and roll chicks. Like I said, the circus tent is a huge level. A good portion of it is jumping around the scaffoldings and large balloons. It's well designed and I remember this stage the most. It was fun. Swinging from the trapeze was a bit cumbersome. And there is this specific way Scooby jumps from swinging objects that takes some getting used to. You have to use Scoob's batsuit a lot in this area. This allows him to glide and float up through gusts of wind. After this, the final boss takes place in the Hall of Mirrors. Scooby has to whack these spiders at the ghoul, breaking his mirror shields and then hitting him with more spiders. Once the fight ends, we learn that it had been the guy we met at the beginning of the level who was responsible for the happenings at the theme park.
Mr. Wiener's band, Def Potato, was never a real success. He blamed his failure on the Guitar Ghoul, whom he saw as a rival.
It also turns out that Nikki Starlight is the real Guitar Ghoul. To show her gratitude for saving her theme park, she gives you some information that leads to the next level. Harem Scarum at the museum.
From what Nikki heard, that place where Jed worked, Monstrous Fright and Magic, provided most of the new interactive exhibits here.
The museum is being terrorized by a prehistoric caveman, which is an enemy from the actual show. I found the museum level to be the most generic set of stages in the game. You jump around a dinosaur exhibit where you traverse swamps and volcanoes fighting dinosaurs. There's a medieval exhibit where you fight knights in armor and jump around some medieval buildings. And then there's an undersea exhibit where you again have to rescue Daphne from a cage, only this time Fred is with her. This level is also where you get Scooby's Robin Hood outfit that allows him to shoot arrows. In one section, Scooby wears his batsuit and flies through some caves, avoiding fire-spitting pterodactyls. This involves moving in a direction the game indicates you move in. It's pretty fun. At one point, Scooby also pilots a biplane, shooting down blimps in this way. It's certainly different from what we've seen before. final boss consists of Scooby and the caveman in UFOs ramming into each other in this little arena area that's surrounded by an electrified fence. And yes, it turns out that was a caveman in a spaceship in the opening movie. During this boss fight, Scooby has to ram the caveman into the side of the arena to damage him, or hit him with one of the weapons you can pick up during the match. I hate this boss fight. The controls are slippery and I'm constantly sliding everywhere. It took some time for me to win, and I did it only by the skin of my teeth. It's unique, but a pain in the ass. Like, it's difficult and challenging, but not in a good way. It's challenging by flaws and not by design. In the end, it was the security guard who was the caveman the whole time.
Those aren't tar pits out front. It's a petroleum reserve. And those bobbing animatronic dinosaurs are covering pumping machines.
It's determined that Winslow Stanton, aka Adam West, had been giving these crooks the mubber needed to commit these crimes.
Stanton sent us on a wild goose chase.
The gang returns to Monstrous Fright and Magic to find Stanton and Jed. The factory is now full of new monsters and obstacles, but once you get through, you find Jed, who had actually been imprisoned in a mubber suit that you actually end up passing at the beginning of the game.
She's right, I was framed. I discovered that Stanton was up to no good, so he trapped me in that costume to prevent me from ratting him out.
The final boss fight takes place in a miniature city set. Scooby has to fight a giant pterodactyl. He has 3 stages to fight him on. The first one, you need to use the Robin Hood suit to shoot arrows into his mouth while he spits fire at you. The second stage has Scooby flying through a mini city skyline, trying to avoid fire blasts and obstacles. It can be challenging to avoid the obstacles as they fly at you from the front as opposed to the back or sides. Lastly, Scooby has to use his ninja suit to shoot Hadoukens at the dino's face. Clip of killing Dino.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!
The gang confronts Stanton, but wait, there are 2 Stantons! So the gang uses the old taste test to determine who the real Stanton is.
Mubber!
Turns out it was Marcy who did all the crimes, and she was actually trying to frame Stanton for it, and Jed just got in the way.
Marcy. But why?
Because I helped create Mubber, but you took all the credit for it. I thought that if I gave you a bad name, I could start up my own business. Mr. Stanton, is this true?
Marcy, I didn't know you felt this way. You should have talked to me about it. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Marcy. I'd like you to become a partner in the company. If you can forgive me, that is.
What the hell is with this story? She shouldn't be made a partner. She's a criminal. She committed multiple crimes and tried to frame the owner of the store of the monster thing. She should be in jail. What in the hell were the writers thinking?